What's going on, Dylan?
Good. How are you?
I'm living the dream, living the dream. So was your birthday yesterday?
It was. It was.
And how'd that go?
It was good. It was good. Can't
The big
complain.
big 30, right?
Oh yeah,
That's fantastic. Did you get to spend some time with your family?
I did. Yep.
That's
Kids
great.
made a
Now,
cake and ate some Mexican food, so it was pretty good.
Mexican food. Is that like your favorite?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do like some Mexican food.
No, I did when we did visit on the phone the other day, I did hear that you are in the Abilene area, but you're not from Abilene.
Yep. I'm actually in um the little bit northeast of
Okay.
Abilene.
Uh-huh. I asked because I was born in Abilene.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I wasn't raised there. I was raised in Midland. Then we moved to Odessa, and I've been there ever since. So is
Okay.
your family local from Texas?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've all lived here, I guess,
All of them?
their whole lives, my whole lives.
That's cool. Are you guys pretty close?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
pretty
you got to
close.
see him for Christmas?
Yep, we went and saw my dad in Abilene. He lives on the other side of Abilene. And then, of course, I didn't get to see my mom. They just moved to Arkansas, but um, yeah, got to see his family and have a good holiday.
That's good. Do you have brothers and sisters that are local?
I've got two stepsisters.
I see. That's cool. So on the kid side, I saw that you had two kids the last time that we visited. You have two kids yourself?
Yep, yep. Me and my wife had two, and we actually have one on the way.
That's awesome. I love kids. I have five myself.
Oh
Five
wow.
altogether. Yeah. My oldest is 24. The next one in line is from a previous relationship on her side. He's 17. He's about to graduate. He's got big plans for college in Florida. Mom says, "No, you're not going to Florida." I'm like, "You got to let him go do his thing. He's about to be a grown up. Start letting him do grown up things." And then I got a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So you're probably going to see one of them running around where I'm at right here. The front door is right outside my window. So whenever mom comes home for lunch or she comes home after work, they'll hear her unlock the door with her phone because it's only got one of them fancy schmancy things.
Oh yeah.
And so they'll come running over here and they think they're sneaky every time, but mom sees them, their little faces in the window because of the shadow. And they're like, we're gonna scare mom. So it's
Oh,
pretty
that's
funny.
funny.
Yeah, they're great. Well, let me go ahead and jump right into what we're doing. Um, let me get this stuff started over here. I got some software that I've got to kick on and it's got to warm up. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. While that's cooking, let me tell you exactly what we're visiting about here today. My job is to go over some no-cost benefits that have already been set up for you. Then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you might qualify for. Now, so you know, my company, American Income, we work with about 20,000 different labor unions, credit unions, and associations. Sorry, it's a lot of words. In the United States. And whether you like credit unions or not, or unions, everybody can agree that they've got the best benefits. A big reason for that is because of their relationship with American Income over the past 60 years. As you can imagine, they've got us running around like crazy. So let me go ahead and get started and jump into the no cost benefits first. All right, Dylan, this first no cost benefit is called the Child Safe ID Kit app. Now, this used to be something that was a paper. You put your kid's fingerprints on there, you put all their information on there, you tuck that in the safe place. Well, now we've learned that everybody has smartphones and no one goes anywhere without their smartphone. So, real quick, let me show you what it looks like. Do you have your phone in front of you?
I do.
Go ahead and open it up. Um, wait, are you iPhone or Android?
Oh, I got an iPhone.
I see. Okay. So we're not gonna be best friends. But because I am Android all the way, people yell at me all the time for it because my thing's green instead of blue. Go ahead and open up the App Store and look up Child Safe ID Kit app. It is gonna look just like that. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah, I got it.
Fantastic. While you've got it open, go ahead and download that. I'm gonna give you a QR code that
Okay.
you can activate the app. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. That's gonna be the QR code. You just scan that bad boy right there,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's gonna activate the app. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your kids' information in there, their height, weight, sex, hair color, all that fun stuff. What we really recommend is that if you're ever going on a big trip with your kids and you're going to somewhere like Six Flags, Disneyland, somewhere where you're going to be in big crowds, it's good to have a current photo, particularly something that they were wearing that morning, so that if for any reason they get lost or, misplaced or they drop their phone or anything, you can get this information to the police so that they can find your kids super fast. The reason that's so important is because Texas leads the nation in child abductions. And the thing that, as a father, that's terrifying to me. And the next thing here is that if those kids aren't found in the first 24 hours, there's a 93% chance that those kids are going to be found.
Oh, wow.
That to me is terrifying. I actually lost my kid once. She walked out of kindergarten and she was lost for about 2 hours. Lost, lost. Imagine, because my wife came home, she damn near kicked in the door. Sorry for my language. She about kicked in the door. She was like, "Where's Elizabeth?" I was like, "What are you talking about? She's at school." She said, "No, she's not. She flew out of the house." Didn't even finish telling me what was going on. And then she texted me a little bit later, said, "Elizabeth's gone." And so we freaked out for about 2 hours. They found her 2 blocks away, just walking around, kindergarten, walking around, a little 6-year-old walking around. So you can see how having something like this would be very, very important, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. So, being the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Associations, they are asking us to refer at least 5 families. So no other family will have to endure the thing that I endured. So you can see why I'm very passionate about this. Who's the first family that comes to mind when you're thinking of protecting someone who's between toddler age and about teenager?
Um, Let me think. I mean, do they have to, like, is it family or is it just anybody?
They're recommending family, but if you know somebody somebody from work, somebody that's got kids, somebody that you care about that you'd like them to help get their kid protected, we'd love to help them out too.
All right, I'm gonna give you my both of my stepsisters that I told you about,
Okay.
Monica and Stephanie.
Monica and Stephanie. Do they have the same last name or they're
No, Monica is Powell, Powell,
uh-huh,
and Stephanie is Graves, Graves.
perfect. The next person that you can think of?
Let's do our friends Kevin and Peyton. They've got kids our kids' age.
Perfect. What's Kevin's last name?
Theirs is Rogers, Rogers.
Perfect.
Let's do um Lisa and Henry.
And Henry's last name?
I can't remember their last name.
Okay, we'll find it here shortly.
Um, let's do I'm gonna put down my wife's sister Tara because she during the summers and stuff she takes the kids and lets them stay with her and stuff. So
Okay, yeah, it'd be important to have. What's Tara's last name?
Doty, Doughety.
Ghety. Perfect.
And
All right, good deal.
that's about all I could think of right now off the top of my head.
Okay. If you can think of any more, you can actually put them in the app because now it's activated. So if you think of anybody else, you can put their information in the app. It'll give them a notification. It'll give me a notification and I get them taken care of as well. All right. So the next no cost benefit is called the AIL Plus discount card. How are your benefits through work?
Man, they're not that great.
Not that great. Well, you're gonna love this because I'm sure you know by now that you can't depend on the benefits through work because you don't control them and they could change at any time. So this benefit will give you up to an 85% discount on things like dental, vision, prescription drugs, hearing aids. What I thought was really cool was telemedicine because I'm a veteran and going to the VA is a big old headache. So getting to do video conferencing and getting my meds mailed to me, it's been a game changer. So this would help with stuff like that. I was also looking into some of the other stuff that you get with a AIL Plus discount card. You can actually get a discount on CT scans. Have you ever had a CT scan?
You know, I've had a CAT scan one time, but other than that, well,
It's something,
I've had some, yeah.
yeah, it's something like that, and those are super expensive. Well, you could get a discount on something as serious as that, because that's where they find the serious stuff. Something with a CT scan, because they go all the way in and check all that stuff. So, I mean, when I talk to people about this particular benefit, they don't really think they're going to use it that much, but they find themselves using it over and over again. So it's good to have that extra peace of mind. I'll go ahead and send an email out with that information. Just keep a lookout for that. Perfect. Okay. So the next no cost benefit is the accidental death and dismemberment certificate. What this is a living benefit that pays you $2,000 for the loss of one hand, one foot, or one eye, and $4,000 for the combination of any two. Now, Dylan, for your beneficiaries, if something were to happen to you and you were to pass in an accident, they would get a check for $4,000, which it doesn't seem like all the money in the world, and it's really not. But if that day came and we were to lose you, your family would probably be in a pinch, right? Because they're not getting any money anymore. And that $4,000 could help. You could see where that would definitely help, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and send you out the information that you're going to need for this. You just fill that out, send it back to the PO box, and that'll make sure that that will make sure that you're covered for that. Okay. All right. One more thing that they're asking me for this particular benefit is that I put two emergency contacts on here. In the event that you and your spouse were to die in a common carrier accident, who would be your first emergency contact?
Um, let's do my dad. His name is Brent.
Okay. Same last name.
Yeah, Rankin.
And then who would be your second emergency contact?
Let's do her mom, Pam, Pam, and then Cope, Cope.
COPE. Good deal. Now, when something like this happens where you're going to need a local office, you've got your phone in front of you, right? Let's go ahead
Yes.
and put in this number.
Okay.
It's 832-327-0800. Now, so your family gets the money that they're entitled to, I'm going to be reaching out to them personally and letting them know what to do in the event of a claim. If you could just give them a heads up and let them know that I'm going to be reaching out to them. And if they choose, I'm going to offer them the same access to this benefit. And if they want it, I'm going to go ahead and take care of them. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Dylan, this policy is just on you, but the second part of this benefit is that you can bless your closest family and friends at no cost to you or them. So how this works, let's say Pam was in a fatal accident. A $2,000 policy, just like yours, would pay out to their family at no cost to you or them. So all you're really doing is giving them the opportunity to take advantage of this, just like you did. We don't want to prejudge anybody. Just let them go ahead and make the decision for themselves. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Now they give you $20,000 worth of this benefit to give out to friends and family. Obviously, your emergency contacts are already taken care of. They're automatically going to be included. So who would be the next person in line to receive this benefit?
Um, let's do hmm, let's do coworker, Trevor,
Trevor. Perfect. What's Trevor's last name?
Hawkins.
And then the next one.
Let's do um Chris Jones.
Okay. Next one.
Um, that's about all I can think about. and then everybody else that we put down earlier.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Dylan. Now, go ahead and make sure that you give those families a call or a text. Let them know that I'm going to be reaching out to them. Now, as long as they know that I'm reaching out to them, they're usually pretty happy about it. But if I call them, they don't know who I am or they don't know why I'm calling. Sometimes they can get a little irritated and confused, and then they'll be upset with both of us. So, just please reach out to them and let them know that I'm going to give them a call. Can you go ahead and make sure?
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. No, while you have your phone out, let me go ahead and get those phone numbers for these folks.
Okay.
Go ahead and find me Monica Powell's number.
325
Uh-huh.
669
Okay.
5428.
5428. And then Stephanie's.
325 721 5426.
5426. Perfect. And then you said Kevin and Palin.
I'll have to get theirs. I'll have to get theirs later. I don't know theirs.
And D. Okay, and then Lisa's.
Um, let's do, I think hers is 325 368 4441, I think.
Okay, and then Tara's.
817 923 6418.
6418. Perfect. And then Brent's.
325 721 4316.
Perfect. And then Pam's.
325 762 5427.
All right. And then Trevor's.
832 629 0408.
08. Perfect. And then Chris's.
917 339 9281.
9281. Perfect. All right, good deal. Now, Dylan, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the exclusive benefits that you must qualify for. Now, all the families that I see, they love this part of the program, and that's why 20,000 different groups handpicked American Income for their permanent and portable benefits. So let me go ahead and get this set up here. Okay. Two seconds. I just want to make sure that I got everything covered. All right, so this next no cost benefit is that they set up for you is the needs analysis software. I'm going to ask you some questions, and if there is no need, it won't make any recommendations. If there is a need, I'll cover those recommendations with you. But before I do, let me show you my license in the state of Texas. I am licensed to handle all of these benefits. Perfect. Okay, so the first preliminary question is you must be a member of an authorized group or sponsored in by someone who is, that's me, so we're good there. You must have an active checking account with a traditional brick and mortar bank, or a credit union. Who do you bank with?
It is First Financial Bank.
Perfect. Okay. And then the last question here, so that I can open up the survey, is has anyone in the household been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the last 12 months? And if they were they hospitalized?
No, we all had it, 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. Okay, good deal. Okay, so plugging in all of your information to the software here. Good deal. Okay, before I go any further, it looks like the needs analysis did find some gaps in your coverage. I have this mandatory read-off letter to read to you, explains how the enrollment process works. So I don't have to read this whole thing off. Dylan, is it okay if I summarize it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, what it's basically saying that is that if, as I'm going through the benefits, you're nodding your head and you're like, wow, these are some fantastic benefits. I can see why 20,000 groups approve this and why everybody's doing it. Then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to apply today. Now, on the flip side, let's say I'm going through the benefits and you're like, wow, these are really great, but they don't really feel the need for my family right now. I'm going to go ahead and ask you not to apply. Either way, yes or no, that decision does need to be made today during your service period, in fairness to all the other families that are trying to apply. You'll see what they did. It's a no-brainer. It's going to be an easy yes or no. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, whatever you decide to do, they do ask me to get a Google review from you. It's kind of like my report card. I try to get a 5-star review every time, so it's important to me if you have any questions that you'll stop me. And then Mary back there, hi Mary, you'll stop me too, right?
Yep, she will.
Good deal. Fantastic. Give me a second. Let me get into this. While that is cooking, I'm going to go over a list of concerns. Now, we visit with families all day, every day, all year long, and we've compiled a list of concerns based off of their responses to what they're actually looking for insurance for. Like, this is what I'm worried about, and this is what I want insurance to cover. So I'm going to go over a list of concerns. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, the first concern here is co-pays, deductibles, and lost wages. Health insurance pays the doctors, but members lose wages due to time off of work and out-of-pocket expenses. What that basically means is that whenever you have to go to the doctor or go to the hospital because if something happens, you're losing out on money from work and you're having to pay to get yourself fixed up. So that's why this is a huge concern. The next concern here is funeral and final expenses. Most families that we visit with don't have $14,000 set aside for funeral expenses. And if they did, they didn't have it set aside for that. The next part of this concern is funeral homes usually want to get paid right away. Now, funeral homes are the funeral directors are nice. They're very empathetic, but they're a business. They've got to get paid. And more than likely they're gonna need to get paid right now. And most families don't have $14,000 to go ahead and drop on an immediate funeral. That's why this is a huge concern. Okay, the next concern here is paycheck loss. What we don't really understand or realize as main breadwinners is that when we die, our paycheck dies with us. If you're looking at a 2-family home, let's say both you and your wife were working. Let's say you made $3,000 or $4,000, your wife was a stay-at-home and she made like $1,500 on a side hustle. If we were to lose you, the wife now only has about 25% of what the household used to have. So do you feel like your wife would be able to handle the entire household, take care of the kids, pay for all the bills, and then take care of your funeral off of that 25%?
No, probably not.
Probably not, right? That's why this is such a huge concern. Now, the next concern here is mortgage or rent. After we lose you and we lose your paycheck, a couple of weeks later, all the bills are going to start to pile up. And the biggest bill that we run into whenever we're talking to families is either mortgage or rent. And some families actually lose their home because the main breadwinner was bringing in the majority of the money and they're no longer able to afford that home. That's why this is a huge concern. The next concern here is children's protection. Now, benefits through work are usually tied to the main breadwinner, as in the person who's paying for the policy. And children are attached to that policy through something called a rider. Whenever we lose the main breadwinner, that coverage is no longer in place. Excuse me. And that creates a risk because the kids are no longer covered. The next part of the children's protection is that if you were putting money aside for the kids' college and we lose the main breadwinner, that money is no longer being put aside. And if something wasn't put in place to make sure that the child had the opportunity to go to college, there's a chance that that child is not going to go to college anymore. Not because that kid isn't smart enough, but because there's probably just not enough money to send them to college. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's why that's a huge concern right there. The next concern here is terminal illness, specifically cancer. Now, I didn't know this until I started working here, but the American Cancer Society says that men have a 1 in 2 lifetime chance of developing or dying from cancer. and that women have a 1 in 3 chance up to the age 65, and then they're right along with us. So cancer is a big deal. It's a big problem. It's something that we all have to worry about. That's why this is a huge concern. Also, medical expenses are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. I didn't know this. I thought it was because businesses were just doing bad business. But according to statistics, it's medical expenses. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't know that either. That's why this is a huge concern. Okay, so the next concern that we run into with most family is group benefits. Now, I don't have anything bad to say about group benefits. If you can get them, they're fantastic. They're usually one of the most affordable benefits that you're going to be able to get. The only thing that's bad about group benefits is that you don't get to pick what's in the group benefits. More than likely, if you do have group benefits, they gave you a silver package, a gold package, and like a platinum package, which it sounds fantastic whenever you're picking them out, but these were not designed for individual families' needs. So that you can't handpick, I need some of this coverage or I don't need some of that coverage. I don't really need this stuff. And that's why this is a huge concern, because some people don't feel like their group benefits are covering enough. Most group benefits are going to have some gaps in the coverage. Also, the second thing about group benefits is that when you retire, 30 days after you retire, you lose those group benefits. Or if you're sick for a long time, you may use up all your benefits, or you can actually lose your benefits if you're sick for too long. That's why this is a huge concern. Now, the next concern here is affordability. Even if you could get all of these covered, all of these concerns all covered at the same time, it's usually too expensive. That's why this company is so great. The way that they've got it set up, we work with people that are making anywhere from $7 an hour, $77 an hour. Some folks working a whole lot of overtime. Some folks that are on limited income or even laid off. No matter the situation, our company wants to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get covered. So they've got it set up a certain way. So Dylan, let's imagine that you went into work tomorrow and the boss came up to you and said, "Hey, you've been doing such a fantastic job. Business is so good. We're going to start paying you for $41 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week." Now, with that extra hour, you're going to call the wife and say, "Hey, babe, it's time for those matching 4 hours that we're wanting." You're
No,
going to do that?
not.
Probably not. You're probably not going to call the travel agency and say, "Hey, that trip to Venice that we were talking about, let's do it. I'm making an hour more a week."
No, probably not.
Probably not, right? So the idea is that 1 hour is not going to change anything for you. So now on the flip side of that, let's say that you went into work and the boss said, "Hey, business is slow. I don't want to lay anybody off. So what I am going to do is start paying you for 39 hours instead of the 40." Now, losing that hour, are you going to have to cancel your phone?
No.
No, probably not. You're probably not going to have to cancel your TV subscriptions, or the kids aren't going to get their Roblox anymore, right?
No.
Probably not, right? The idea is 1 hour either side isn't going to really change your life. That's why they have it set up this way. So let me go ahead and show you how that 1 hour, when put to good use, can really, really put your family in a position where they're taken care of. So the way that they have me setting this up is through something called a 2-job worksheet. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Where is the? It's on yours. So oh, there it is. I got it. I was looking for the button on my side. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you see that?
I can.
Perfect. Okay. So the way that I've got it set it up based off of the information that we've put into the software here, this is, say, job A over here on the left. That's the job that you've got right now, the benefits that you've got right now, the people that you work with right now. And then we've got job B over here on the right. Now, this is that 1 hour less that we were talking about. Let me show you how, when you put this policy in place, that 1 hour is going to benefit you. So we were talking about accidents earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that this is set up is if you're in an accident and you have to go to the hospital for a bump, a bruise, a scrape, a bee sting, anything like that, and you go to the hospital, for each visit, you would get $100 out of this policy. Now, let's say that that accident was a little bit more serious and you had to stay in the hospital, stay the night in the hospital, you would get $200 a night for up to 365 days. Now, to put that into perspective, let's say you were in the hospital for a whole week. Over that time, during the week while you were out of work, you made $1,000 while you were in the hospital getting taken care of, which to me is a pretty awesome benefit. Now, let's say that that accident was pretty serious and you were in intensive care. this policy, when you put it in place, would pay you out $400 a night for up to 15 days. As you can see on job A, you don't have anything like that in place. Excuse me. Now, you remember how we were talking about the accidental death and dismemberment benefit earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is kind of like that on steroids. So for the loss of one hand, you would get, oh, excuse me, for the loss of one hand, foot, or eye, you're looking at $10,000. Hold on a second. Yeah, my allergies are still kicking my butt. For the loss of one hand, one eye, or one foot, you're looking at 10,000. For the combination of any two, you're looking at $20,000. Now, let's say that that accident that you had ended up being fatal and we lost you. Your beneficiaries are looking at collecting anywhere from $20,000 all the way up to $100,000 for the accidental death benefit, which is pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this next part is one of my favorite benefits that we offer. This is something that I believe that American Income is the only one that carries. It's called the Freedom of Choice Funeral Benefit. So going back to that accident that ended up being fatal, we lost you. Your wife is at the funeral home. She's picked out your casket. She's picked out your headstone, your flowers, all the things that come with a funeral, and it ended up being something like $16,000. Well, the way that this funeral choice benefit works is it's a certificate that your wife, she could put that 16,000 that what it costs for your funeral. She writes that on there, signs that, hands that to the funeral director, and he is paid immediately. Your funeral goes on without a hitch. Now the balance of that, what's left over from that $30,000, goes to your wife in a check, tax free. Now the way that the software has it set up is that we have this benefit set up for you and your wife. So if the reversed happens, you would be the one that would benefit from all of this here. Now, the next benefit that we had talked about, the next concern that we had talked about was that pay income, that pay, getting that pay back. The way that this is set up is we have your income replaced when you are gone for 5 years. That's that $4,000 a month for 5 years. What that does for your beneficiaries is that gives them time to grieve, time to plan how they're going to continue on life without you. And if there's any other insurances that you did have in place, it would give time for those things to actually pay out. What most people don't understand is with other types of insurances, it can take you 30, 60, 90 days to have access to that money. Excuse me. And that's why having these benefits in place that pay out immediately are so vital. Now, the way that this is set up is your wife's income is also covered for that 60 months or that 5 years. So if something were to happen to her, you would have the ability to have the children taken care of and still be able to work and provide for your family. So that's fantastic. As you can see on this job A side, we don't have anything like that in place. Now, the mortgage that we had talked about, let me look at the fund here real quick, make sure. It looks like you had 100,000 left over on the mortgage. This is going to go ahead and pay that off. So you're not going to have to worry about the mortgage anymore, or your spouse is not going to have to worry about the mortgage anymore. Also, on the when we talked about the children going to college, the way that the plan set it up is that you have $100,000 per child set up so that they have all the funds that they need to go ahead and go to college if in the event that something were happen to you or your spouse. The next benefit here is the children's life insurance. Each child under the age of 18 that qualifies is going to get a $10,000 life insurance policy. Now, the best thing about this particular benefit here is that that child at the age of 21 has the opportunity to upgrade that coverage to $50,000 with no health questions asked. Now, the reason that this is so powerful, at least on my side, is because my daughter, when she was 7, she was diagnosed with epilepsy. So she is no longer insurable. She is
Wow.
not insurable. And we have to wait 2 years just to see if we can apply again. And even then, if she does get approved, it's probably going to be rated and we're probably going to have to pay a whole lot of money. That's why it's so important to get the kids covered as early as possible, because you don't know what's going to happen between, when they're born to when they're 21 years old. That's why this is so powerful. Now, as you can see on this job A side, you don't have anything like that in place. Now we talked about terminal illness, right? Something severe like cancer. Well, if something like that were to happen, the company is going to take half of your accidental death benefit and then half of your freedom of choice benefit, and they're going to advance that to you so that you can spend that last, few months of your life making memories with your family and not having to worry about anything else except, spending that time, that quality time with your family. So that's why that's super important. And then the way that the software has it set up is that we have the same thing set up for your spouse. As you can see on Job A, you don't have anything like that in place. Now, the last couple things I want to talk about when it comes to the benefits that you're going to set up today is that these benefits are permanent and portable. What that means is that once they're issued by American Income, they can't be taken away. Your job can't take them away. You can switch jobs. Excuse me. You can switch jobs as much as you want, work for anywhere you want. These benefits are portable and they go with you wherever you want. The next part of this is that we have something called a layoff waiver. So if you were in between jobs for any reason, you have 90 days of coverage that is still taken care of, as in your premiums are going to be paid for the next 90 days while you're looking for a job. So at the most important time, when you need the benefits the most, when you don't have a job, you're still taken care of. Also, this includes something called a strike waiver. So if you were on a qualified strike, you have your benefits would be paid for up to 12 months while that strike is in place. And another great thing is that you don't have to pay any of that back. So you can see how all these benefits are pretty fantastic, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So let's say you were to go into work tomorrow and the boss said, "Hey, we've got two different benefit packages. Job A over here where you're making, that 1 hour, or job B where you're making an hour less, but you got all of these benefits." Which one would you choose?
Job B.
Exactly, right? It's a no-brainer, like I said. All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing there. Let me get back to my deal. Make sure I got everything covered. Perfect. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so everyone wants the benefits, but not everybody can qualify for the benefits. So as I mentioned before, I do have to get you qualified first. So let me go ahead and run through these questions and let's see if you can qualify. Let me go ahead and share my screen so you know what I'm looking at. Find it. There we go. Okay. So let me know when you can see that.
Okay.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and start in on the questions, okay?
Okay.
The first question is, has any proposed insured ever been treated or advised to be treated for alcoholism, alcohol abuse, including membership into AA, or been advised by a physician to reduce their alcohol consumption?
No.
Okay. Has any proposed insured ever used drugs not prescribed by a physician, cocaine, amphetamines, barbiturates, hallucinogens, tranquilizers, narcotics, or sedatives?
No.
All right. Has any proposed insured ever had their driver's license suspended or revoked because of a moving violation or been arrested, including arrest for driving while intoxicated or under the influence?
No.
Has any proposed insured flown within the last 2 years as a pilot or intends to fly as a pilot in the future?
No.
Has any proposed insured participated in the last 2 years or intended to participate in any of the following activities: auto, motorcycle, or boat racing, parachute jumping, scuba, or skydiving?
No.
All right. Has any proposed insured ever been advised to take tests and not done so, or received the results and been diagnosed as having received treatment for high blood pressure, chest pain, heart attack, stroke, or any heart, blood, or circulatory disorder?
No.
Has any proposed insured ever been treated for any of the following conditions: diabetes or other endocrine disorders?
No.
Paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease, or disorders of the nervous system or brain disorder?
No.
Has any proposed insured ever had arthritis or any injury to or trouble with your back, knees, or any of your joints?
No.
Okay, to the best of your knowledge and belief, do you sorry, to the best of your knowledge and belief, do you or have any, man, I can't read today. To the best of your knowledge and belief, do you have any physical impairment or departure from good health?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Has any proposed insured ever been advised to take tests and not done so, or not received the results, being diagnosed, or having received treatment for cancer, tumors, or unexplained masses?
No,
Okay. Has any proposed insured ever been rejected for life or medical insurance, rated, or failed to receive a policy as applied for?
no,
Has any proposed insured in the last 5 years had a physical examination? uh, Had a physical examination?
yes.
Okay, and when was that?
Uh, about a year. Actually, it was August of 22.
Perfect. Do you remember the doctor's name?
No, I can get the name and address though. It was just a little. I had to go get it when I had my CDL and get my health card. It was
Okay.
just just a quick CDL physical.
A physical though? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Has any of the proposed insured are you on prescription medications?
Yes, I'm on an antidepressant, venlafaxine, 150 milligrams just once a day.
Okay, good deal. And then have you ever been hospitalized?
Um, I mean, I have. I mean, how long ago?
In the last 5 years.
No,
Okay. Is any proposed insured currently a resident of a nursing home or ever been diagnosed as having terminal illness, including Alzheimer's?
no,
Okay. Has any proposed insured ever had or been treated for any of the following conditions? Asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, or any other respiratory disorder?
no,
Ulcers, colitis, or other digestive tract disorder?
no,
Cirrhosis, hepatitis, or other liver disorder, or any other blood disorder, or received a bone marrow transplant?
no,
Kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or any other genitourinary disorder?
no,
Diseases of the breast, uterus, or ovaries?
no,
Rheumatoid arthritis, or any other musculoskeletal disorder?
no.
Loss of hearing or loss of sight?
I just wear contacts, but no, I haven't,
Okay,
gone
that's
blind.
right. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, age-related complex, or AIDS-related conditions?
No,
Has any proposed insured ever tested positive for antibodies to the HIV virus?
no.
Okay. Does any proposed insured smoke cigarettes or use tobacco in any form that does include vape?
Yes, I dip snuff.
All right. And then if a former use of tobacco, when oh no. So you're currently using.
Right. Yeah, I haven't quit.
Okay. Has any proposed insured used marijuana in the last year?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, perfect. Now this is as far as I've got. All right, Dylan. I'm not the underwriter, but based off of what I'm seeing here, it looks like I should be able to get you qualified for the benefits. So this program is set up on a once-a-month deduction through your banking system. Having it done this way gains you this discounted rate. The program here looks like it is 321.11. This can be handled anytime between, we are on the 28th today, so anytime between the 28th and the 11th. Except for the 29th, 30th, and 31st. The reason being is that not all months have the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So which date would you want to have that draft out of your bank account?
You said it was how much?
321.
Oh, yeah, we can't afford that. We just got done with Christmas and uh coming up on the first of the year. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that.
I understand. Now, based off of what we were talking about earlier, now you do see the value in the program, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all those, all the benefits that you did on that sheet, but yeah, there's no way we can do the 321.
Okay, I understand. Now, if the 321 is a bit too much, what we can do is make some adjustments. The reason being is that I want you to get this set up for your family. You see the value, I see the value. I want you to get this set up for your family. Now, if the 321 is something that you can't make month in and month out, it wouldn't make sense for me to try to get you at the 321. I mean, we see the value in all of the benefits, but if the 321 doesn't make sense, you're not going to make the payments, and when the payments aren't made, you're not going to have the coverage. So it really wouldn't matter if I was to convince you to do it at the 321. So what I can do is we can make some adjustments to the coverage so to make it a little bit more comfortable for you. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I mean, man, I'd hate to take away from take away from the benefits.
Right, right. Well, what we can do is put something in place. Now, later on in life, you're probably going to be making more money. Later on, you're going to get a raise. Because you seem like a very smart and capable person. Later on, you're probably going to be making more money. So what we can do is get something, at least something in place today so that we get this done during your service period. And then later on, we can always revisit this and then bring it back up to the value that we see today. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
perfect.
what are we talking?
Um, just making some small adjustments here and there so that we can get it to something that's a little bit more affordable. So let me do some small adjustments here. What I'm doing is I'm reducing a little bit well, remember what we talked about, the income?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it being for 5 years, we're gonna trim that down to 3 each for your spouse and for you, and then recalculating that, and that comes out to 274. Now you've still got the freedom of choice benefit for both you and your wife. You've still got the mortgage paid off. You've still got the college for the kids. All
Mm-hmm.
we did was trim a little bit off of the income where it's going to be 3 years instead of the full 5. That brings you down to 274. Is that something that's more manageable?
Man, that's still going to be a little too high. You know, I'd hate to like I said, I'd hate to pay a little less and not get all those benefits because that's
Well,
yeah,
that's what we're doing. We're doing is bringing it to where it's something that's comfortable for now. And then later on, whenever you do feel like this is something that you want the full value of the benefits, then we can go ahead and adjust that later. Does that make sense?
okay.
Okay, perfect. So let me do a little bit more adjusting here so that we can make it more comfortable. Recalculate that. Okay. Now I've trimmed down the income replacement just a little bit more. We're looking at 228. Is that something that you feel like you could pay month in, month out?
Yeah,
Now that's saving you about $100 a month. That's
can we make it even 200? I mean, I know that's $20, but I would feel better about 200 than 220.
sure. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see. Give me just a second. Amount. Okay. Would 204 be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. All right. So what I've got you here is the program's going to be 204 per month. And what day of the month did you say you wanted to go ahead and have that draft?
Um, let's just do the 5th.
5th. Perfect. All right. So that's the 204 per month. We're going to go ahead and set that on the 5th. Now, because this is a members owned program, once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer, there is an application process that we just started with the health questions. In addition, this will all be electronically signed, so I'll be sending you something through DocuSign so that you can confirm that all the documents are correct, and then you'll sign it electronically, obviously. Okay, now this enrollment process usually takes anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. If you are approved, you'll receive your policies in the mail and then a congratulatory letter welcoming you to AIL. I always get that backwards. I always do AILI. And then you'll receive if you're denied, you'll receive today's deposit back, and you can write to American Income to request an explanation. Now, obviously, these benefits are conditional, covered from the moment that the call ends today. The first bank draft is going to happen within the next 24 to 48 hours of this application. Your bank may not reflect the draft for up to 10 days, so be sure that the funds stay in there to ensure that your coverage is in place. Your first premium is going to be $209. There's a $5 processing fee for the accidental death part of the policy. The items that we need to go ahead and complete the process is their driver's license, your doctor's information that we were talking about earlier, the medications that you just spoke of, and then your checkbook or bank account, the routing numbers. Now, at some point in everyone's life, everyone becomes uninsurable and would be declined for insurance. This is usually due to their age, their health, or their habits. Once you are uninsurable, like I was talking about before with my daughter, you typically can't get insurance again. If you are approved, there are 3 possible outcomes. First, you could be approved standard due to having no health issues. Second, you could fall somewhere between the uninsurable and the insurable line. Because the groups that we work with, they want everybody to be approved in this category. We have a special risk category, which would be just a little bit like a few dollars more a month. In this category, you pay exactly the same amount as someone who has the exact same health profile as you. To put it into more understandable terms, like let's say car insurance. Someone with a lot of tickets is going to pay a little bit more than someone who doesn't have any tickets. That makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we have the third option, which is the counter offer. They make this offer for someone that they normally wouldn't offer coverage to in the past, and it's the last chance to get covered. So if the program comes back with something different, as we discussed, I will call you. If that happens, would a few extra dollars be a problem for you?
I mean, as long as it's not like $100, yeah, that should be fine.
Right. If that does happen, like I said, I'll give you a call. The next thing is you may receive a couple of phone calls asking you to review the information that you provided for me and to make sure that it's accurate. In order to approve your policy, the company may need help getting in touch with the doctors to make sure that they can get any medical information that they need from your physician. In order to approve you, they may send out a medical professional to your home in the privacy of your own home at no cost to you. It's important to be responsive during the approval process. What that basically means is that just answer the phone anytime it rings because it might be one of our people trying to get a hold of you so that we can make sure that this gets issued, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Give me just a second, make sure that I've got everything covered. All right, Dylan. Well, almost everybody takes advantage of this program because they see the value in it. Based off of how much you're getting and the little investment that you're having to pay into it, it's a really, really good program. Now, every once in a while, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes someone will cancel a policy either a week from now, a month from now, or a year from now. And they usually get frustrated because whenever they do end up seeing us again here in a couple of years, they want to start the policy back up. The difference is that now they're a little bit older. Their policy is going to be probably a little bit more expensive. Worst case scenario, their health has changed and they no longer qualify for the policy. So that's why it's important to go ahead and lock it in while I'm visiting with you today. So looking forward, I just need to make sure that you understand that we need to be able to make that $204 payment every month, month in, month out. You're absolutely comfortable with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So like I was saying, that bank draft is going to come out within the next 24 to 48 hours. Make sure that money is in there. Sometimes it happens where someone that I'm visiting with, they get excited about the policy, they pay for it, and then they go and start making other bills, they start paying other bills, and a lot of money comes out all at the same time. And for some reason, the policy doesn't get covered because too much money was spent and the money's not in the bank account anymore. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Now, if something like that happens, that causes a whole lot of headaches because to the company, they didn't see that you paid a whole lot of bills. They think that I forced you into buying something that you weren't ready to buy. So I just got to make sure that you understand that that money needs to be in that account for the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Other than that, please make sure that you keep this in place for your family. And if you don't have any other questions, I appreciate your business and we'll talk to you next time.
Perfect.